So, did you say recap? Go ahead, recap.
So, Glover's exhausted.
Recap it.
Planking, right? So, that's something to take note on, okay? Anytime that you can get the person to post their hand on the ground and be leaning on it, right? Not to where I'm just like here, my hand's chilling on the ground. Like I'm leaning on my hand, I'm here. Anytime you can get the person to post their hand on the ground, it's time to at least attack this arm lock. Whether you're going for the actual arm lock or like we're going to talk about in the next section, if you're going for one of the other options that it gives you, the variations, right? So if he's on the bottom right here, like we started in the closed-ish guard, it could be a closed open guard, right? He just brings my hands to the ground with his squeezing his legs or making me post with the collar tie. Okay, he can just squeeze his legs and bring my hand to the ground. He can attack that arm. As I pull it out, he can go for the other one. Okay, he can sit up to a double unders position. And I'll be like fighting that, and then he'll just yank my hands to the ground, right? He'll pull my back, then I'll post, and then he'll go for one, and I'll pull it out, and he'll go for the other one, and start to attack. Okay, anytime you're in this butterfly guard, right, and he goes for a sweep, collar tie sweep, okay, and I base, and then he can go for that arm, okay? If he's seated, sit up. If he's seated, okay, and he has an underhook and I have a whizzer right here, right? And I'm like kind of trying to bait him to come up to like wrestle me, and he won't, and then he falls back. As he falls back and yanks me, that'll get this whizzer to post. Okay, so you're always looking for these moments where the guy's just touching the ground. So it's not like you have to do like this. You have to do that. That shit just happens when you're rolling. You know, you can be here and the guy will be stepping and he'll just lift that hook and I'll be like, boom. And he can go for that arm lock, right? And yeah, I'll slip it out a lot of the times, right? But you have to be okay with going for this move 20 times and it working, the actual arm lock working like 5 out of the 20 times. And then the other 5 out of the 20 times you get the arm drag or the butterfly sweep, and then the other 10 times it doesn't work. Right? But anytime the guy bases his hands on the ground, if I have like a body lock position here and Glover goes for a butterfly sweep and I'm like, oh, boom, he can start attacking that arm. Okay? If I have like my hands fully locked around his waist, right? And then he goes for that butterfly sweep and I like just base my elbow, he can weave through right there and then start the hip escape and pry that open. And I'll be like, no, fighting it, and then it'll just slide up into that arm lock. Okay, so that's a variation of just getting you like to touch the ground. The other spot that we talked about was like half guard. Okay, anytime you can off balance the guy right there, if he's in this spot in a half guard, okay, and he puts his butterfly hook in, put that butterfly hook in, okay, and he could just make me base, go for the sweep. And I base right here. As he brings himself back to butterfly guard, he can start to attack that arm right there, right? And it's like I said, you're not necessarily looking for a technique. You're just looking for a way to make the guy base his hand. He could just jab me across the face with his arm and make me base, and then slide his knee out as he attacks my arm. And go for that, right? So it gives you the same reaction as like a butterfly sweep would, or if I came in and he went for this underhook and I start to back up, and as I give him that space, he takes his knee out and clamps himself onto my arm. Take your right knee out. Yeah. And then he clamps himself onto this arm right here. Okay. It's all about getting the guy's arms right here above your shoulder with maybe their hand on the ground or their arm hugging your head, right? Let's say he does like that knee lever, makes me base my hand on the ground. Boom, as we come back, look, I know that shit's gonna happen. Okay, so a lot of it's just looking for it, being okay with it slipping out, being okay with going for it just to go for it again, right? Not just going for that first one. Want to be able to do multiple attacks. And then you'll make the guy like scared to want to touch the ground. You'll make the guy like scared to lean forward, which sometimes is good, especially with bigger